Welcome to TTMCast One-on-One with Jeff Baker. Every Wednesday, we'll bring one-on-one interviews with hobby professionals, former athletes, authors, and collectors. Sponsored by Certified Sports Guarantee. Go to csgcards.com for sports card grading for the win. And by sportscollectorsdaily.com. If it happens in the hobby, you'll find it on sportscollectorsdaily.com. And sponsored by GemRate.com. The latest grading statistic from the 4 major grading companies is just a click away. Visit GemRate.com. It's free. Sponsored by Collects, the free app for scanning and valuing your cards. Use the app to build your collection and buy and sell with other collectors. Turn the hobby into your side hustle. And now, here's our host, Jeff Baker.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to TTMcast One-on-One. It is Wednesday, October 25th, 2023, and you are listening to me, Jeff Baker. I am the host of your program, talking to you from Boston, Massachusetts. And guys, we have a very special show today. Our friend Drew Pelto is on vacation, so you know what? We have a pinch hitter, and he's going to hit a home run out of the park. His name is Dave Snyder. He is a collector. He is a TTMer. He is a Buffalo Sabre fan. He is from upstate New York. He manages a great group on Facebook called Cardboard Exchange. If you want to sign up for it, it's a fun group. Welcome, Dave.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. Thanks for having me here.
Oh, I'm so thrilled to have you. When Dave's on, we get to talk hockey, which I love. Dave loves the Buffalo Sabres, even though they're not doing that well. And my Bruins are 5-0, by the way, guys, 5-0.
Yeah, rub it in, Jeff. Go ahead.
Oh, there's more coming with that. David. No problem. We'll come with that. Guys, we have a really fun show for you today. I spoke with Danny Black, who is the founder and editor of Hobby News Daily. I spoke to him this morning, so it's a brand new episode, interview, hot off the presses. But first, we're going to talk a little collecting this week. I picked up a Topps Chrome Hobby Box, which is always nice. How is the supply of retail cards for you guys up there, Dave? Is it easy to get cards?
The local Targets and Walmarts are the shelves are full, but I think the days of walking in and seeing somebody walk out with a full cart full of stuff, I think that's kind of slowed down. We're not seeing that anymore like we did during the pandemic. So, yeah, we have a good supply. We have a lot of local card shops here in the area, and they keep us well stocked. So we're in good shape. We're minutes from the headquarters of Dave and Adams as well. So we're right down the road from there.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. I know it's a little sketchy in terms of getting cards at the Walmarts and Targets here, but I've been going to Barnes and Noble, and they've been full of cards. So I've been using Barnes and Noble. I picked up a hobby box of Topps Chrome baseball 2023. I got Tristan Casas rookie card, which I didn't have, and I got a couple other Red Sox, which is cool. No autographs, but I really like the Chrome. Other than they're not great for signing for TTMs, you know.
Jeff, I'm not big on the new stuff. You know me, man. I'm an old school guy, man. I just don't get to that. I mean, I have them because I buy boxes of stuff from people, but I don't get there to slash and open boxes and packs and hope that I get what I'm looking for in the first box that I buy. Although I can't say that I haven't gotten them from the wife, so which is unusual because lately getting any kind of card from my wife at this point usually is pretty good. So
that's very good. Yep. Like, you know what? You have to have the wife supporting you or you're in trouble, right?
Yeah. If you know my pain. I mean, I'm just gonna leave it there.
We all fight it. Hey, this past Saturday, my wife actually took me to the Providence Bruins, which is about an hour away from us, and we went down to watch them, their AHL team, and they played the Hershey Bears, and they lost in a 4-3 in a shootout. They tied it up in the third period, and they lost in the shootout. But actually, we got tickets, and we're in one of the boxes. We were at an AJT Supplies of Foxborough, Mass. We were in their box. They had pizza and chicken fingers and soda and beer and stuff and popcorn, and it was a nice way to watch a game,
Yeah, where do they play? Where do they play that in? What arena is that?
It used to be the Dunkin' Donuts Center, and now it's Amica. Amica. I think it's Amica, right?
It's Tamika, probably. Yeah,
Amica, the insurance people. It's right downtown, in downtown Providence. It's really they remodeled it. It's nice. It used to be kind of old, old schlocky stadium, but I hadn't been down there in a couple of years, and we were very pleasantly surprised. I'd never been in the boxes. The boxes were very nice, and the arena was really nice. It was spectacular night, so all the kids were there in costumes for Halloween, and
awesome.
there were tons of kids. When I say it was 80% little kids, and you love to see that, especially for minor league hockey. And we saw a fight. We saw a really good minor league hockey fight, which was nice.
There's nothing like minor league hockey, man.
It was like first period, Dave, right? And maybe like 2 minutes into the game, and they must have been pissed because I think they played each other the night before, and so then they came out, and these two guys, they really went at it. It was a really good fight.
Well, I'm big on I love minor league hockey. We have the Amerks, which is just like literally 60 minutes down the road from us in Rochester, and just absolutely love that. I mean, the fact that they can send a guy to Buffalo in less than an hour is just like incredible. So having that relationship with a team like that real close by has got to be pretty nice. Just like it is for you guys out there in Boston. I can only imagine it's got to be pretty nice.
Yeah, it was fun. We used to have a lot more minor league hockey in the area. There was a team up in Manchester. There was a team here in Lowell. There was a team in Worcester. And I don't think any of those teams are still going. I think the only team left that we have is the Providence Bruins. But it's fun, and it was a fun night. I hadn't been to the Providence Bruins in a couple of years, and we went. It was a rainy night, cold rainy night. The wind was howling, and we were lost. We parked at the convention center, had to walk over to the place where they play the arena, and it was fun. It was a fun night, and I want to thank our friends at AJT Supplies for hooking us up with the tickets, because free hockey is almost is the best, right?
There's nothing better than free hockey, man. And you got to and not to mention, you actually you got to see a really cool team too. The Hershey Bears, which, if you know the history of the Bears, they were the Sabres minor league team in the mid '70s as well.
Yeah, they are Washington Capitals now.
Now they are, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, what were they wearing? What jerseys were they wearing?
They were wearing dark jerseys.
Were they wearing the old
the bear on the front?
Yeah, I love that. That's why I love minor league hockey. Their jerseys are just so great.
No, I know. The Bruins cheat because they just have the P instead of the B, and everything else is the same. So, but it was still fun. Hey, have you been watching the baseball playoffs at all? Because wow, what a great series we've been seeing.
Just the fact that I heard, and I'm not really too up on it because me and hockey season's just getting rolling, so I'm following all that. But the fact that Arizona's in it, I can't even believe that I heard that Arizona was in it, and that just rattles my brain a little bit. But
I know, you know what, we have to rub the salt in the wound a little to my pal Drew, because he hates the Rangers. So the Rangers are in the World Series, and it's going to bother him to no end. And I really enjoy that.
What is his hatred with the Rangers? And
I don't know. He just doesn't like. He doesn't like them. He doesn't like everything about the Rangers. So it's kind of funny. And he's literally, I don't know. He's in Arlington. He's literally like 5 minutes from the stadium. He's really close to the stadium. And I asked him, I said, "You going to go to the World Series if the Rangers get in?" He goes, "No, I'm not giving the Rangers any of my money."
Wow. He's just, so I don't have it. Do you have that in you? Can you do that?
No, not at all. I mean, I hate the Yankees, but if I had tickets to go see the Yankees in the World Series, I'd be right there. I'd be the first one in line.
Right. I couldn't shut that off. I couldn't. The sports fan in me wouldn't allow me, even if I was like a diehard Boston fan, and I do love baseball to the point of I enjoy the game, and I've always been that way since the very first game I ever walked up in one of the tunnels in Candlestick Park, and I came up and that green hit me, and it was like there was nothing like that. I actually have goosebumps even talking about it. There's nothing like being at a game. It's just incredible, and it doesn't matter where, because the smell's the same. It's you know what I mean. It's all the
No, I know.
visuals are. Yeah,
It's really fun. Hey, you know what? I thought you might be a little down today, maybe having a
no, here
black
we go.
armband or something.
Here it comes.
Because of Sunday's game. What happened to your Bills? Why didn't they show up?
They are a mess, huh?
Yes.
Are you
The
seeing
defense
this?
is a mess. Josh Allen can't. I don't
You
know
know,
what's the
I
matter.
don't. I wow. How do I say this without sounding like a Debbie Downer? It is just. It seems like there's a disconnect between the play calling and what's going on with Ken Dorsey, and Josh Allen, and I think maybe the head coach is kind of holding back on the plays a little bit, maybe, or maybe Dorsey's just not calling the plays, because we saw this at the end of the year last year when we started to see a little bit of acting out by Stephon Diggs, having him act out on camera. You saw it a couple of times. And
Dave, they should have beat the Patriots 10 times out of 10, because the Patriots are a bad team. And
yeah, but you know what? You can say bad team, but quite frankly, the thing that beat us was the coaching. The coaching beat us. Belichick is no joke. Hasn't been a joke since he started coaching. The guy, I love Buffalo. Don't get me wrong, and I shouldn't even be talking about Belichick in any way. But you can't deny greatness. You can't keep cream from rising to the top. No matter what you do, it's going to come.
Yeah,
so,
him and what's his name? The offensive coordinator. They outcoach you guys.
Yeah, without question.
All right, buddy, let's talk a little Sabre hockey. What happened? I thought the Sabres were going to come out.
Man, you just kick a dog when he's down,
I
man.
really thought the Sabres were going to come out with, gangbusters. They have so much talent. And I was watching a little of the Sabres Canadiens game from the other day, and they've passed the puck like nobody, but they can't play defense.
Yeah, it amazes me. We have some really good defensive players. Obviously, Darlene being the number one pick and stuff. And then you put that monster Samuelson back there, and you would expect it with some of the talent that we have, and then you bring Eric Johnson in, and you expect that the veteran will do his part. But it's just, for some reason, it's not gelling. Donnie Meatballs is not getting it done. And I don't understand why that isn't, but I mean,
sometimes young teams, it takes them a little while. They peak and then they fall, and peak and then they fall. But I really thought they were gonna, off of last year, because I thought they were playing really well at the end of the year last year. I thought they were gonna come out really strong this year.
Well, they dropped just below with 2 points, and they fell out. But yeah, this is still early. I think there's going to be a shakeup. Something's going to have to happen. I wouldn't put it all on the goaltending either. Levi is a great goaltender. He's a really great young kid.
You know what they have? They have brain farts, Dave. Really, they just sit there and they can't get the puck out of their zone.
And that's not goaltending. That's definitely the players.
No, I know. Or they have them. They pull a meathead penalty, and it just kills them.
Yeah, it's. So I mean, can I stand here and give you all kinds of excuses about my team? Sure, I could, but I can't defend it. I really can't. I mean,
hey, how you doing on your quest to get every Buffalo
Actually,
Sabre
that's a
autograph?
really good question. I've had some really good help from. Am I allowed to mention other guys at all?
Oh, sure.
All right, Dodger Don, which I'll just use it as that. Dodger Don is a great guy. Um, we trade back and forth some stuff here and there, and he has tremendously helped me. He got me another 30 different autographs.
Wow.
Yeah, which was like, oh my gosh, it's just amazing, and he's been fantastic. And actually, he's got a few more for me on the side, which I have a trade for him, and then Johnny Serena over there, YouTube fame Johnny Serena over here, um, he had somebody send him one, and I've been looking for this guy for probably 2 years, and all of a sudden somebody just sends him one that they got in the TTM, and I'm like, holy jeez, can you trade that one to me, Johnny? And he's like, sure.
Who was
so I'm
it?
going to send Johnny a blind trade, and he's going to send that one back to me.
Who was it?
Harrison. Where did I put that? I have it somewhere around here. He's a goalie from the 70s.
Okay. You know, it's funny every time because we do the Vern Rat Minute, and every week it seems like we're losing somebody that played for the Sabres. Every time I go, poor Dave. I hope he has this guy.
I know, right? It was terrible. It was like every week you were mentioning somebody, and I'm like, yeah, we know, yeah. And then the final nail was losing RJ. We lost Rick Jenneret.
What, a couple weeks ago, right? 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, just before the season too. But they got the patch on their jersey, and his wife and family are just such good people. They're just amazing. And that whole family has always been so good in Buffalo, and we really feel for them. Yes, we've lost a great voice, but they lost a great man in their family. So we really do keep them in our prayers over here.
Have you been working on the Upper Deck Series 1 yet? Have you gotten any 2023-24 Series 1?
I actually haven't. I'm expecting that I'll see that under my Christmas tree. I'll probably see 2 blaster boxes, or maybe even a hobby box. I'm not sure.
The hobby box has some Connor Bernards in there, short print Connor Bernards.
I'm hoping that I see 1 box of that. Like I said, I posted today. I'm a cheapie. I can't help it. I picked up 2 boxes of 1990 score football boxes. And I got them for 2 boxes, one series 1, one series 2 for $15.
Now, do you break those open for TTMing, or what's your plan?
You know what? I'm holding off till, like I said, I'm in college, so I'm kind of holding off. But I've been stacking stuff up, Jeff. I've been stacking.
Yeah, I see them all those cards sitting on the shelf. I'm proud of you.
I'm stacking all that up. And then once I get to a point where I'm done with this college thing, where I decided that I wanted to be young again and go back to college, I'll jump back into cardboard exchange, and I'll start doing some live stuff. Not to sell anything, but more so just for fun, to have people watch me open up a pack or 2, or maybe a whole box or something, just for fun. But yeah, a totally different thing for me. I'm not big into whipping out a credit card to pay for cards. So
got you. Now, I know you've been working with veterans, and one of the things they enjoy doing is sorting cards out and organizing cards. Why don't you tell people a little about your work with the vets?
Well, right now we're trying to get legitimate, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
We're a group of guys that just meet up at the local library. We get one of the private rooms, and we sit down and we talk, and basically just shoot the breeze and talk about our service, and then we talk about what we're dealing with, the hardships of combat and things that we carry with us. And we have found that some of the research has said that using distraction therapy is a good method to get rid of some of the anxiety that comes along with the PTSD. So we came up with an idea and checked it with one of the doctors at the VA. But again, like I said, this is not legit until they come out and say that this is the thing that they want to do, or if they would support our group by giving us a place to meet or something like that, so that we can be more legitimate about it. And I really want to emphasize that, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm attached to the VA in any way other than I go there for treatments and certain things. But what we found is that by sorting cards, whether it be by alphabetical order or by team or by numbers on the back of the card, whatever it is, the repetition act of sorting alleviates you from thinking about other things, because you're focusing on those things that you're using to sort those cards. So it kind of gets you in a routine of getting away from that. So when you the same way that back in the day, when in the 60s and 70s, when you felt anxious, you went outside and you grabbed a cigar or a cigarette, but you don't do that kind of thing anymore, because that ain't the healthy thing to do. So now the best thing we can do is grab ourselves a stack of cards and just start sorting them out. The problem with that, of course, is somebody has to supply the cards. So I've been buying boxes of cards at garage sales, and I can tell you that the wonders of junk wax can help alleviate the issues of this. To supply some of these guys with cards who have never actually collected. Some of them have turned into collectors. Some of them want to kill me for the amount of money that they're spending on their cards now, which is not my fault. I didn't encourage that part of it.
That's right. You're not the heroin dealer turning them on with the free first hit, right?
So yeah, what we're doing is I have a meeting scheduled in January with one of the doctors at the VA in the psychology department to talk to them and see if we can't follow the science that's already there and see if we can't get them to support a group, not necessarily to have them buy cards for us, because that ain't right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, in a perfect world, that would be awesome, but we're not looking for them to do that. I'll just keep buying boxes of cards, or actually, one of the guys in my group actually sent me a box of cards. He sent me like 2,000 cards to pass out. So we usually give out 200, 300, 400 cards to a guy at a time, and have them use them and start them off. And when it gets to the point where they've either worn them out or given them away or done something with them, we keep replenishing. But the group has gotten bigger. It started out with about 8 of us, I think, at one point. The most we've ever had show up was 22.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
We have given out, I have kept track. I have given out over 200,000 cards, which is actually pretty cool. It's kind of neat. Some of them end up at grandkids. Some of the grandkids end up with those cards, and that's okay. I don't mind that so much. And I've started about 6 of those guys have actually started doing TTM. So you actually have 6 more listeners.
Awesome. Well, that's very cool. I think it's great that you're helping out, and I agree. It's great that cards are playing a small role of helping out these guys. But guys, we have a really fun show for you. We got all our housekeeping in order, Dave. All right. I think we got everything done, guys. We have Dave Snyder here for the rest of the show. He is sitting in for Drew, who's on vacation this week. We are going to have Danny Black, who is editor. He is editor and founder of Hobby News Daily. That is coming up a little later. But guys, Dave, leading off, we have
Hobby Happenings.
Oh, he's putting Drew to shame. Guys.
Let's get the show started. Leading off, we look at hobby happenings.
Smart collectors turn to Sports Collectors Daily to stay up to date. From new releases to incredible collections hitting the auction block, news from inside the business of sports collectibles, and much more, Sports Collectors Daily has it, all with no subscription cost. SC Daily also delivers a live look at the most watched sports card auctions on eBay for every sport. Sign up to get the headlines in your email for free, or just visit the website whenever you like. With 16,000 stories in the archive going back 16 years, there is always plenty to read at sportscollectorsdaily.com.
Hobby happenings. Hobby happenings is, of course, some hobby news that's been going on the first couple of days of the week. Just want to remind everyone about our friends at Collects. The Collects Marketplace is up and running. It is live, and Collects app is fantastic. You can download it in your App Store or Google Play. Does not cost anything. It's free. Just go to Collects, sign up for the Collects app, get your Collects name, send it to us, email it to us at
TTMcast at yahoo.com.
There you go, 25 cents in his pocket right there. He's gonna take all Drew's money, guys, and we will send you $10 coupon to use in their marketplace. I still had a couple bucks left. I got a 1972 Jim Lonborg card for a couple bucks out of the Collects Marketplace yesterday. So, Dave, I hope you've sent in your Collects username to get your $10.
I did send it, and I haven't downloaded the app yet, so I am delinquent.
All right, well, go download the app, get your Collects in the username, and you can get $10. Also, we are giving away a book, an autographed book, Dave. It's called The Bat Boy and the Unbreakable Record. It's by Robert Skeed. It is really for kids who are like 8 to 13 years old. So if you have a young adult in your life that you want to get excited about reading, we're going to give away a signed copy of his book. It's about a 12-year-old kid who becomes a bat boy for the Cincinnati Reds in 1938 and is there to witness Johnny Vandermeer's back-to-back no-hitters. So it's a great book. Really fun book. It's really simple. All you have to do is send me the name of your kid, because I want to mail it directly to the kid. Send me the kid's name and their mailing address and send it to
TTMcast at yahoo.com.
And we are going to pick a winner on Saturday. We will announce a winner on Saturday. Okay, guys? So there's two great things. Our email address is
TTMcast at yahoo.com.
That's right. And that's the most powerful email address in the hobby, guys. The most powerful email address in the hobby. Well, Dave, you ready? You ready? You got your Drew voice ready? Let's get some rating numbers from our friends at gemrate.com.
All right, from the dates of October 16th to the 22nd, PSA comes in at 307,300 cards graded. That's a 18% increase. SGC comes in at 28,200 cards graded, and that's down 3%. And then Beckett comes in at 14,400 cards graded, and that is 17% down from their last report. And CGC has not got any numbers out to us at this time.
Well, it's still pretty good. 350,000 cards graded in a week. Are you a grader? Are you a guy that sends cards off to get graded?
Again, we're walking into that old school zone. You know what? If I can't tell if a card looks good enough to me, I won't buy it. I mean, it's just, but grading is a necessary thing when it gets into high value cards. I think that it's good for vintage cards as well. I tend to shy away from it because I'm not that type of collector, but that doesn't mean that there shouldn't be a grading system. So
I agree. I'm kind of in your school on that one, guys. We thank gemrate.com for providing our grading numbers every week, and we'll have the big three on Saturday. So tune into our show on Saturday for the big three. Dave, we got a lot of new releases to let people know about. 2022-23 Panini Flux Basketball is out. There's 5 cards in a pack, 10 packs. This is a hobby box. You get 1 autograph and 20 inserts, and they're going for about $230. That's 2022-23 Panini Flux Basketball for about $230.
And you have the 2023 Panini Originals WNBA. Comes with 1 pack, 10 cards in a pack, with 2 autos, 1 memorabilia card, and 2 inserts. That comes with a price tag of $120 per box.
All right, this one's for Drew, Dave, because I think Drew worked on these. This is a 2023-24 Panini Prism Draft Pick Collegiate Basketball. There's 4 cards in a pack. You get 10 packs, 4 autos, 4 inserts, and 8 parallels. A hobby box is going for $175. That's 2023-24 Panini Prism Draft Picks Collegiate Basketball for about $175.
Looks like a nice cut up in that. All right. Next one is 2023 Topps Tier 1 Baseball. With a price tag of $220, you get 2 autos, 1 relic, and 3 cards per box. Wow.
I know, that's a lot of money for 3 cards, if you ask me. All right, Dave, we have are you a Star Wars guy? We have 2023 Topps Star Wars Chrome Black. These hobby boxes, there's 4 cards per box. You get 1 encased auto, and the hobby boxes are going for about $100. That's 2023 Topps Star Wars Chrome Black for about $100.
That actually does kind of look pretty cool to me, and
it looks very cool. I like the encased auto. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, I there's something about that just sounds really cool, because like back in the day when we had the yellow, the red, the blue, the green.
Remember those?
Yeah, I was like, I can only imagine, opening the new stuff, because I'm really into the whole storyline. So it's a family thing around here, so it's kind of cool. All right. We left off with 2022-23 Topps Inception Overtime Elite Basketball. $75 a box. Comes with 4 autos or 4 autos or auto relics, 4 cards per box.
Very good. All right, guys, that wraps up our new releases. Couple signing news. This is really exciting to me, because I'm a big fan of his, and he hasn't really signed in 20 years, right? Tim Duncan is going to be signing with Panini. And so
nice.
you'll be able to get some Tim Duncan's autographs in Panini cards this year, which is very cool. Also, Leaf has signed high school phenom Juju Lewis, and it's nice to see that the kids that are in high school and college are making some money off of this deal. So I know nothing about Juju Lewis, but Leaf signed high school phenom Juju Lewis. So it's good to see that the companies other than Fanatics are signing some of these athletes, and I think it's best when we have multiple companies making cards, and I don't want to see a monopoly. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I would say that would be not as nice to see. Yes, I understand.
Well, Dave, we have some auction news to update people about.
Yes, it looks like recent REA auctions, 3,500 lots with $1.4 million in sales. Holy jeepers. They had a 1953 Topps Mantle PSA 7 ring out at, look at this, $29,400. Whoo, man, that's up there.
That's nice, huh?
That is, I can only imagine. Like I said, vintage cards graded, it makes sense. 1948-49 Leaf Satchel Paige. What a nice card. Rookie PSA. Yes, it was only a 1, but it rang out at $12,000. $12,000. Wow.
Yeah, it just goes to show you don't have to have PSA 10s to make some money, right? So
yeah,
vintage cards have some money. Hey, I got some TTM news on the bad side, I guess. It looks like Joe Carter, who's been a great TTMer for a long time, is not signing TTM anymore. So that's kind of too bad. He was doing like $5 or $10 at one point, and there's been reports that he's just returning everything that people are sending him, including the money. So Joe Carter, who was, we're approaching World Series time. He was a World Series hero with the Toronto Blue Jays. He was a great Cleveland Indian. He is not signing TTM anymore, so that's too bad.
That's really sad, actually. What a great hero from back in the day, huh?
No, I know. Plus, your way, you get a lot of the Blue Jay games. So,
well, yeah, with the Bisons here in Buffalo, that being the minor league team, it's right across the border. I mean, we're an hour and a half from Toronto.
Do you make it up there? Do you make it up there to go watch the game?
I have been up to one game up in Toronto in my entire life, actually.
The Rogers Center is a nice place to watch a game. I think I enjoy it.
I have heard that the sight lines are a lot better since some of the things have been moved around a little bit. They've had some updates. It looks really pretty sharp, actually. So
Very cool. Well, Dave, we have a couple of shows to let people know about. There's the Shriners Auditorium show. It's the GBSCC. It's going to be November 3rd through the 5th. It's here in Wilmington, Mass. And a lot of New England type guys are going to be signing, including Richard Seymour, Ty Law, Terry Francona, Hall of Famer Lee Smith, Lawyer Money Loy, Rich Garces, who pitched for the Red Sox. Also, Dale Murphy's going to be there. Tiny Archibald. It's a big 3-day show. It is going to be the 3rd through the 5th. I will be there on the 4th. So if anyone's going up to the Shriner show in Wilmington, Mass on the 4th, make sure you say hello. It's a really great show. So check that out. We also have a show in Virginia Beach coming up.
yes, the Virginia Beach show, November 11th, has a few guests: Rudy May, Ken Harvey, Mickey Tuttleton, and the best thing about this show, free admission.
Yeah, it's it's an old time show, Dave. It's a really great show. They really care about the collectors. The autographs are fairly inexpensive, free admission, and it's a lot of vendors and a lot of cool stuff. So if you're in the Virginia Beach area, November 11th, check it out. Dave, this I did
Hey,
it.
Jeff,
I'm
Dave. How you doing?
I knew I was going to do that one. Dave, our friends at Lana Sports helps earn money for dropping dimes to help for former ABA players, and they've got a few of their ABA rookie hobby box sets left. They're only $60, which is half price. All the money goes to help out former ABA players. So if you're an ABA fan, a basketball fan, check it out. It's lanasports.com, the ABA rookie hobby box set, and they're only $60, which is a really great buy.
That's awesome.
All right, Dave, we finished all our hobby happenings, and I had the opportunity to speak with Danny Black. Danny Black is founder and editor of Hobby News Daily. It's a great site, hobbynewsdaily.com. You can also follow them on social media. They have a free newsletter. There's all sorts of cool stuff. They have a lot of great content. So I talked to Danny. They've been doing the site now for about 10 months. So we talked to Danny about his site, about the hobby, and about where our hobby is going. So please enjoy my interview with editor and founder of Hobby News Daily, Mr. Danny Black.
It's football season. There's no better time to get your NFL stars, rookies, and veteran cards graded. CGC Cards offers fast turnaround times, so you get your cards back even faster. They have crystal clear holders, so your cards shine. And best yet, all starting at just $12 a card. Head to cgccards.com to start grading your cards today. This week's interview is brought to you by Certified Sports Guarantee, csgcards.com for superior sports card certification and grading.
This segment is sponsored by Collects, the free app for scanning, pricing, tracking, and cataloging your cards. Upgrade to Collects Pro to access exclusive features like exporting collections to spreadsheet, printing checklists, and Collects AI. All right, guys, we have an industry leader on the line with us today. His name is Danny Black. He is founder and editor of Hobby News Daily, which is a great new site. It's not new anymore. It's been up for about 10 months. We're going to talk to Danny about what's going on in our hobby. The hobbynewsdaily.com is the homepage for the hobby. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. They have a daily podcast as well as a newsletter, and they are on social media at Hobby News Daily. Make sure you follow them on social media. Hey, Danny.
How are you doing? And I'm grabbing my cup of coffee now, and excited to be here. Excited to talk to you.
I know we are recording this on Tuesday morning, guys. So we're up late watching Monday Night Football, and we're watching the baseball playoffs. Let's talk a little baseball playoffs before we get going, because I can't remember such two great series going on at once, and I think it's really good for the hobby, don't you?
Well, I have 12-year-old twin boys, and when they say, "Can we stay up to watch the game?" and they mean baseball, not football, I know something's going right. So that's my barometer. As a baseball fan, I couldn't be any happier. I'm rooting, for game 7s in every series or game 5s, whatever it is.
Yeah, me too. The more baseball, the better, right?
Yeah, my Orioles unfortunately got knocked out. So once that happened, I want to see good games.
Are we getting any? Have we got a hobby star from the playoffs yet? Has anyone really grabbed the imagination of the hobby?
I think Adolis Garcia.
You think
Uh,
so?
I think there's a group of people who love the attitude, the that WWE charisma. I'm old school. When you hit a ball, you run it out. But that's just me, and maybe I'm too old, and everybody should get off my lawn. But I think he's a superstar in the making, and I think winning the MVP for the round, and he's really something.
Is he Randy Rosarina 2.0?
That's a fantastic question because I loved Randy Rosarina, and I'm not sure he lived up to what
He
he was.
hasn't.
You walked
He's a
me
good player. Randy's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but he couldn't keep it going.
You walked me right into that one. I think he has a chance to be better, only because I think his blood pressure really calms down in those moments, almost like Altuve. He just seems to have a knack for the moment.
How about Scherzer and Verlander? Have they and Kershaw? If you want to add Kershaw to the mix, have they hit the wall, so to speak, and the plateaued?
I'm always the positive guy. I think we're very lucky we got to watch them the last 10 to 15 years. I'm not sure that we have 5 more years or even 1 or 2 more years of them dominating. Yeah, so I agree with you. I think maybe we're at a wall with them, but let's take a moment to appreciate how great they really were over their careers.
Doesn't it sadden you that Kershaw hasn't been able to replicate his success during the playoffs?
It unfortunately is it's kind of that Dan Marino no Super Bowl blemish.
Yeah.
You just don't
John
want
Stockton, Patrick Ewing, right?
exactly. You just hate for that to be on their resume because they deserve better.
How about, you know what? I have a brain block right now, but the kid from Texas, the rookie outfielder, the Carter,
Yeah,
who
Evan Carter. Yep.
do you think his rookie cards are going to really jump up in the next couple months?
I think they've already gone up. I think because he was called up at the end of the year and he had a little bit of playing time and he played pretty well. I think his breakout in the playoffs only shot him up even higher. And I'll say that Josh Young also would be the other name I would throw out there as somebody who went from a local kind of star to a national name.
Now we're doing this, we're recording this on Tuesday, so game 7 of the Phillies and Diamondback series hasn't happened yet. So you want to make a prediction on that one and your thoughts on that Diamondback team that is very resilient.
Well, they are. Everybody, whatever I say, just pick the opposite. I think Philadelphia's got it. I think that lineup is unbelievable. The Diamondbacks have a ton of spunk. They're a young team. I think we're going to see them battling in the playoffs for years to come. But I think Philadelphia has got something special going.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Matt Strom, obviously, because have you seen his Cards Life show? Are you a fan of the show?
I'm a fan. I am a fan. I love players who are into the hobby. I did not like Bobby Witt Jr. coming out of the draft because the Orioles took Adley Rutschman in front, and it was competitive. But now that he's into the hobby, I can't help myself. I find myself rooting for guys like him and Matt Strom. Absolutely.
Now, are you a basketball guy? Because we got kickoff of the NBA tomorrow night. Did you do the fantasy basketball, by the way? Were you in the
I did. We had our
I apologize. I got involved with another league last year, and I just didn't want to do 2 leagues because I really love fantasy and I really love basketball. But 2 leagues is a lot for basketball because it's you have to do it every day.
Yeah.
But so how'd you do? You had your draft? Did you have the draft last night?
We had the draft last night. I mean, objectively, I think I have the best team. I mean, completely.
What pick did you have?
I had number 5.
Okay.
I ended up with Giannis.
Oh, nice. I had 10 in a 12 team league. It was hard. I ended up with Booker.
Okay, I'm
okay.
I'm a Booker fan.
it's okay. No, it's funny. The team that finished 9th took every one of my guys. Like I wanted Lillard. He took Lillard right in front of me. I wanted Jaylen Brown. He took Jaylen Brown in front of me. I wanted Davis. He took Davis right in front of me. Every guy that I wanted, he took right in front of me. So I don't love my team this year.
I was so excited. I thought I had a sneak pick on Chet Holmgren.
Oh, he's going to be good.
Well, and he's not on any of the rankings when you look at when you're in drafting in the queue. He's not on there. And I thought I had him. I was ready to go, and right before me, my son took him. So obviously, my son's grounded. Yeah.
Well, maybe next year I'll get involved with you guys. I was ready to do it, but I don't. Two basketball teams at the same time, it's hard.
No, it's quite all right. If there's nothing more fun than fantasy sports, and we made it a free league just to have fun. So absolutely.
Yeah, you guys will have fun, guys. So I'm sure follow their fantasy team on Hobby News Daily. I'm sure they'll be the league. They'll be updating and going at each other in the post. Let's get back to the homepage. It's called the homepage of the hobby, which is apropos. You've been going up and running for 10 months. And I'd like to just talk about some of the contributors to the website, because you have so many great writers. Why don't you give those guys a plug, because you guys cover just about, soup to nuts in the hobby.
Well, I'll peel back the curtain a little bit. We have a chat room for everybody involved, and you're in that chat room. And I'm notorious for putting the schedule up on a very frequent.
You're a taskmaster, my friend. You are
right. Because
I'm glad I can sit on the sidelines and just watch them.
We have such great writers. But these are people in the hobby that have other stuff in their lives. So I want to make sure I give them a shout out for their time they do contribute to Hobby News Daily. John Newman, Chris Harris, Rody the Kid, Kayla Norsworthy, Rex Goucher, Horatio Ruiz, Courtney from Reckless Cards, Joe Chatz, Bobby Burrell, who if you're not familiar with him,
I just had Bobby on my show last week. I don't know if you heard our interview.
Yeah, no, but if people aren't familiar, he's a hockey legend.
Boy, he knows more about hockey cards than anyone in the world, doesn't he?
He's forgotten more about hockey cards than I know about anything.
He was a great guest. I didn't know Bobby until through your site, and I said, I got to have him on because he can talk. He talks to Peachy hockey and Parkhurst and all these 1920s hockey cards that no one knows about.
All right, I'll fess up. I'm totally intimidated by talking hockey with him. I'm so glad you had the chutzpah to do it. I absolutely was. I'm intimidated because he can talk circles around me. So
he's very, very good, very, very knowledgeable. And all you have to do is just say, Bobby, what's up with the 1964 Opeachy? And he's like, oh wait, that didn't start until 66, and this is what happened, and this is how they printed them, and this is how they cut them, and he was awesome.
The guy's name is Phil, and he worked the cutting machine.
Yep.
And just I don't want to leave anybody out. Victor, the true rookie expert, Eric Norton, Samuel Evans, Mike Summer, Drew Herndon, Mike Moynihan, Rich Klein, Jason from Vintage Vignettes, who's fantastic, like everybody else, and Tom, the card carver, talking about art cards. So I think I got everybody in there, cool. Hopefully. And if I didn't, then it's like the Oscars, you can send Will Smith after me.
What have been some of the most popular stories that have been posted on the site? And the site's been going since January, and you guys post basically a new story. You have a new story just about every day, right? And you also have a daily podcast that lasts, I don't know, what's about 10-15 minutes on a daily podcast. So there's a lot of content. What's been some of the most popular stories posted on the site?
Well, it's really interesting. It's been, one of the things that's been different than I expected is Bobby's stories. There's such a niche, and there's not a great venue for these articles elsewhere. So Bobby's stories do great. Horatio wrote an article about the pluses and minuses of card cleaning. And that being, I don't know, I don't want to say
That's a taboo subject, isn't it?
right. That I don't want right. I don't want to say controversial, but it drew a lot of eyeballs. I think a lot of people were curious who maybe, weren't familiar with what actually happens. So, it's some of the niche stuff that really people find interesting. If we have an article talking about a new release from Topps, nobody really seems interested. I don't know what that means, but the more niche, the more off the reservation of the middle of the hobby, really it seems that people want to hobby their own way, and I really think that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, between you and I think people can find that information in 10 or 12 different sources, right? If Topps releases the updated series, they can find that anywhere. But a story on card cleaning that's unique to you guys, and I think that's where your soft spot is, right? I think that's where you're gonna capture as many eyeballs as possible. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and that's what we're really learning is it's not just the evergreen articles, but it's sort of the it's not the top of the mast on the front page, every day. We don't want to be the same article that everybody's writing. You're exactly correct. So we like to try to be relevant, but not repetitive.
How do you see the landscape of our hobby has changed since you guys started at the beginning of the year? It just seems like we're traveling at warp speed in terms of the hobby, because everything changes on not a daily, if not a weekly basis, at least a daily basis, right?
Well, you made the comment that the last time we saw each other, I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I think the hobby's beating me up a little bit. It's been an interesting ride. I truly believe if we step back and really look at the big picture, we had a correction in every graph, everything you want to look at.
Yep.
We're kind of back to where we were pre-pandemic at a certain point. I don't know that that's a bad thing in the big picture. I think my son's being able to afford cards is a positive. I think people getting into the hobby for the love of the cards, not for the flip of the cards, long term is healthy. There's nothing wrong, for people who want to, make a quick profit. But long term, I think collecting, gets people into the hobby more. So I think it's been a really weird adjustment time, but I think a reset is good. I think it clears out maybe a little bit of the waste and brings in people that have a stronger attachment.
Do you think we're kind of at the cusp of technology making collecting easier and different for us in terms of sorting, finding cards, managing our hobby, selling cards, that kind of stuff? Do you think we're kind of on the cusp of a technology boom that we haven't really seen the true results of that yet?
Yeah, I think we're in the first inning of the technology.
Yeah, I do too.
My son's, like I said, 12 years old. They have such a different hobby experience if they go to a show or a card shop. They're so used to looking at apps and eBay and right on the phone, right there. And they think like the apps do. Everything, is I don't want to pay too much because the app says this. And I think we're going to evolve out of that. I think we're going to grow, with the technology. But that's why I think we're in the first inning, because right now I think we're just, taking what's in front of us and accepting it at face value. And that information, I think will get better and better and better, and we'll be able to understand and break it down more and more. Have
you attended any shows recently?
Not since the National, actually.
I haven't either. I'm going to the Shriners show here in Wilmington in a couple of weeks. That'll be my first show. It's one of the bigger shows here in the New England area, but I haven't seen. I'm looking forward to it.
How many tables is that?
I don't know, 300-400 tables. It's a big show.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, go have fun. That'll be a big one.
Yeah, it's the biggest show in the New England area.
Oh, that's cool.
They've been doing it for 40 years, so it's a great show.
Okay, this
reports.
comes out tomorrow. So if my wife's not listening, I'm driving up to New England.
Well, the show is November 3rd to the 5th or something like that in Wilmington, Massachusetts. Well, I'll give him a plug. What has surprised you most about running the site? I don't know. Did you understand that as a daily site that was going to be in your conscious and subconscious every second of the day?
No. I think I went in, I think if I would have known, I wouldn't have done it. I think you have to go in 100%, optimistic and enthusiastic, and you have to stay that way. But nothing goes in a straight line. Nothing goes perfect. What's been fun is we're finding that people like to absorb a lot of the stuff in different media. So we're having all the writers, but we're also starting a YouTube channel that's really getting clicks. Like you mentioned, we're doing the Morning Minute podcast, and that is blowing up. So we're finding that people really like that. And I didn't think I realized how many different media venues we'd be dealing with on a regular basis.
Yep.
That being said, the writers are the easy part in some ways because they're just so talented. I basically just need to make sure everything's spelled correctly and put it up. And then our next step is we're actually going to be redoing part of the site, and people like you that we have as content creators are getting a whole new page.
Great.
So we're going to be refreshing everything to brand that better and get more eyeballs for you and the other curated people on there. So we're excited for that, and we're working on that.
Has your personal collecting changed since you started the site in terms of how much you personally acquire new items, and the things that you're acquiring is different based on now the knowledge that you've are acquiring?
I don't know if this is good or bad, but I've become a total PSA registry junkie.
Oh no.
I know it's like I swore I would never do it. But I completed the Greg Maddux rookie run, which is only 4 cards. And that got me hooked. That's like the first one's free, and then they get you on the second one. So now I'm in the middle of the Sandy Koufax run. What it's changed for me, where I used to, I think, prospect a lot more. I love prospecting. I think I'm a lot more judicious about where I put my money on prospects, and working a little bit more on the Koufax run.
Do you think you're seeing more investment and just spending? I guess investment's not the right word. Spending in vintage cards as opposed to the current releases?
I think people believe that it's a softer fall, as far as the market going down. I ran an interesting stat the other day. The cards from the 70s have basically stayed level, while vintage cards in general have gone down 15 to 20% over the last year or two. So I think vintage in general is a great place to be long term. I think modern has way too much volatility, and the players could get hurt or off the field issues. I think there's a middle ground. I think the 70s and 80s are the upcoming areas, and
That's good because I have a room full of them.
Yeah, right, exactly. Just stay away from the late 80s, and but I've only got 8,000 of those. So I think there is definitely a change there, but I think there's opportunity.
Where do you see the Fanatics Panini legal battles falling out, and do you see it being the end result being positive for us collectors, or is there no way we can win in this thing? We're just kind of we're fodder on the side,
Well, I'll give a shout out. We had Paul Lesko on Hobby News Daily for an interview.
Oh yeah, Paul doesn't know anything.
Yeah, right. Not at all. I just like to surround myself with smart people and then fake it. So here was Paul's general interpretation is the lawsuit's going to be tough. It's going to be expensive. And you're probably looking at some sort of settlement agreement purchase, or something that's going to happen. That the chances of this actually going to trial is very small. So what does that mean? Well, that means that somebody's going to buy somebody, or a license is going to go here or there. The best thing that I've seen is Panini signing exclusive contracts with athletes recently. They
Yep.
seem to be getting ahead of the game. And I think that's a very interesting move, that they're going in and bringing in a Tim Duncan, let's say, somebody who hasn't signed in 20 some years. Well, now they have him, and he's retired. So they don't have to worry about the uniform. They don't have to worry about a lot of things. And I think it seems eerily similar to the Leaf model, of an unlicensed product. And so I just wonder if they're not hedging their bets, for what could be down the road. And if they end up with keeping the license for another year or two, then all the better. But I think eventually it falls to Fanatics. I don't know that it's good for the consumer, especially when the quality control and some of the mistakes seem to be really frustrating for collectors.
Speaking of mistakes, it's really reared its ugly head recently with these multiple one of ones, right? And how do us as collectors protect ourselves against something like that?
I'm still confused about how we talk about it. Is it 3 of ones? Is it
Yeah.
yeah.
I have one of these, but it's a 101. Oh, but I have another one of these. Oh, wait, I have another one of these.
That's what I'm saying. Do you collect the whole rainbow? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah.
So Topps put out a bounty when they admitted that they made second ones. And I actually thought they handled it very well when they found a duplicate copy and they found the second one. They put out the apology.
But were they putting out a letter, Danny, or with a fire? I mean, were they putting out a fire as opposed to doing what was best for the collector?
I think the bounties were so high, those cards would never be worth more, is my personal opinion.
Okay.
And I feel that counts for something, although screwing up, you collectors want quality control. Once you get to a third, however, Jeff, I can't defend that. There's absolutely no defense. You need immediately to have a change of staff, oversight. I mean, this is almost worth stopping the presses. I feel like, one of the old movies when they want to stop the newspapers, and they press the button, we found a third one, press the button,
Yeah, it's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? With the golden ticket. We found the ticket. We found the ticket.
But it's 3 of them.
I know.
So I think that's a real bad sign. At 2, maybe I'm a little bit more generous in accepting that they sometimes print an extra in case there's a problem, and maybe they slipped out. Something could have happened. At 3, there's no defense anymore. That's a real issue that I think reflects poorly on their beginning of taking over the card business.
What's your thought on this? I don't know, lottery ticket way of collecting, you know what I mean, in terms of, we're going to get the Bowman 1 of 1 Babe Ruth first card, or what I mean, like, what do you think that's good for the hobby? And do you think as a collector that you like to see that, like, I'm gonna go and buy my Bowman Chromes because I want to get that, I want to try to get that Babe Ruth card? Is that what's your thought on that?
I want to bring in my teenager so I can get the correct eye roll. I think it's a great marketing ploy. I think if you happen to hit it,
right, but is it a great marketing ploy once when you do it once, but now all of a sudden it seems like every release has one card that somebody's put a David Adams or one of the breakers, or it seems to be overkill, I think.
I think that'll end up stopping. I think right now there is such a panic, and this goes to your question before, what's happening in the hobby. I think a lot of these companies are looking for ways to get eyeballs and dollars and people to their sites, and these are coming out of their marketing budgets. Is what I think what's happening. I don't think that'll continue, and I do not. Please, I don't like telling people how to collect, but please don't just keep opening wax hoping to hit these. That's not a good investment strategy.
And don't you think it leaves the hobby itself open to real scrutiny in terms of how these things are inserted, where they're inserted, who gets access to them? Is it, you know what I mean? And I guess I'm looking at the breaker community, because you and I were collecting way before anyone started breaking cards, and I do like the concept of it, but it just seems to have a real ugly underbelly because there's no control over it. There's no oversight on it.
I call it carnival barkers.
Yeah. And I like you go to the national, you're at the national, and those guys, they instill so much energy into the show and the hobby. And I personally, the breakers that I've talked to, I like them personally, but I just don't know I don't know if it's Wild West, in terms of what they're doing.
Well, I completely agree with you, and I think there's going to be some oversight eventually. And I know that there's a very fine line on how they're getting around certain gambling laws.
Right. I mean, you look at the lottery is regulated by the state government and the federal government, and there's for all the regulation, there's oversights and abuses there as well. So I don't know how you control it.
I'm not going to put a number on it, but I've heard the money that some of the breakers make is so obscene.
I believe it.
That it would really frustrate the hobby. There's certain sites that you can actually join a break 24 hours a day on all the different platforms, somewhere with some of these breakers. And the amount of product that they have to purchase, and this goes to your point, whether or not such a thing as a hot box exists, it almost doesn't matter because so much products go in there. Yep. The odds are that the breakers are getting the hits anyway.
Right, I agree. Guys, we're speaking with Danny Black. Danny is a founder and editor of Hobby News Daily. It's hobbynewsdaily.com. It's the homepage of the hobby. Check it out. It is a free site. You can go check out, get the newsletter. There's a daily podcast that lasts for about 10, 15 minutes. They're on social media at Hobby News Daily, all the social media, including YouTube and TikTok, right? You guys are on TikTok?
We're starting it, yep.
And they have great content. Fantastic writers. I want to give a shout out to all the writing team because I don't read just about every article, but I get just about all of them because I really look forward to the guys' articles, and they're fantastic. And as Danny said, they're very targeted, so you can learn about something. If you don't know anything about O-Pee-Chee cards from the 1950s, you can learn something that you probably didn't know. Our hobby is growing. I think our hobby is still growing. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you see for next year for the site? What you said you're updating some stuff. What changes do you see for the site? And if we talk next year, what type of hobby do you think we'll be talking about?
I think we'll be talking about a stronger hobby. I think a lot of the marketplace tech companies that are coming up will be thinned out a little bit. The herd will be thinned out a little bit, and you'll have some stronger marketplaces to compete with what we have now. But as far as the site goes, I am very excited about it, and I put some recent numbers in our group chat. We are growing and have a lot of momentum behind us right now. So I'm hoping the site is standard reading for everybody in the hobby. That they sign up for the newsletter and they read the articles, like you said. And if everybody starts their day with a cup of coffee and a 9-minute podcast or a 10-minute podcast, it's a good way to start the day. And I would love for everybody in the hobby to start it that way.
Did you, when you started this 10 months ago, did you think, what am I going to do every day and talk about baseball cards and autographs and collecting? Is there enough news out there for me to keep this site running every day for content? Was that something that was your primary concern of yours?
It was one of the first questions I asked people. And actually, there was a lot of writers who wanted to write for the site that I turned down to get more of diversity in content. And we're always looking for good writers. So I don't mean to say that we're never going to take another writer. We're always looking for good writers, but we like people that have specialties and that enjoy writing about the topic as much as we enjoy reading it.
All right. Danny Black, Hobby News Daily. Guys, check it out. HobbyNewsDaily.com, at Hobby News Daily on all your social media. Hobby News Daily. It is the homepage for the hobby, which is a great tagline. Great tagline, Danny. I wish you guys the best of luck. Keep up the good work. I'm sure we have, we're rounding out the year. I can't believe we're already in October, which is unbelievable. But as you know, there's never a dull moment in this hobby. As soon as you take a time to breathe, something happens, right? There's some legal thing happens, or some stupid one-of-one error happens, or something happens. So I wish you the best of luck in your fantasy basketball team this year.
Thank you very much.
And good luck. We got the World Series coming up, and we love what you and I are both huge baseball fans. NHL, we got the NHL has been playing. Have you been following the Connor Bernard saga?
It's hard not to, but I'm an Ovechkin fan here in Baltimore.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see where he ends up with the goals this year.
All right, my friend. Thank you. Anything else you want to add before I let you go?
This was too much fun, my friend. It doesn't even count. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, welcome. You're welcome anytime, and it's great to catch up with you. All right.
Thank you.
Be good. Thank you. Scanning and cataloging your collection has never been easier, thanks to the free Collects app. Join over 1 million other collectors in digitizing and pricing your collection. Unlock exclusive features to take your hobby to the next level, like printable checklists, huge discounts to hobby companies, Collects AI, and the ability to export your collection to a spreadsheet, all available when you upgrade to Collects Pro. Use Collects AI to help research cards to buy or supercharge the descriptions on your cards to sell them even faster. You also get exclusive discounts with partners like Fanatics, Lupe, and BCW Supplies. Download Collects, that's Collects, C-O-L-L-X, free on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Dave, have you checked out Hobby News Daily at all?
I have not, and actually, it's funny that you said that because I'm actually trying to grab an index card because I need to do this because I haven't done this enough. And what was that? Hobby
News Daily. Check it out. There's a free e-newsletter you can sign up for. They have a 10-minute podcast every day, and there's all sorts of cool articles, and there's some good hockey stuff on there too. So you might want to check it out. All right.
Is that hobbynewsdaily.com or?
Yes, hobbynewsdaily.com.
Got it.
Guys, check that out. All right. Thank you, Danny. We want to thank Danny for joining us. Guys, on Saturday, we have Les Wolf from Les Wolf Sports LLC will be joining us. We have Red Sox super collector Jeff Bijus. I'm going to get it right. It's Bijukas. Jeff Bijukas. I always mess up names. You know that. Jeff Bijukas. He will be joining us talking about, listen to this, what Dave, this gentleman has done. He has a bat from every every person that's played for the Boston Red Sox from 1960 until today, except 3.
Oh, now it's 3. Okay.
3. He's missing 3. So it's a really fun interview. He also is a TTMer, and he has over, I think, 700 custom TTM cards that he's sent out, mostly to Red Sox. So he's kind of the U, but with Red Sox instead of Sabres.
That's a tough life.
So we were going to be talking to Jeff Bijukas on Saturday, and my co-host will be Clemente Lise. Clemente Lise will be joining me.
Yeah, so I love that guy.
Yeah,
he's
awesome.
He's so diverse on sports. It's unbelievable. That guy's awesome.
Thank you. I really enjoy Clemente. We're going to talk. I'm sure we'll talk some hockey with Clemente, and he will be joining us to chime in. Dave, what's your final thoughts of hosting the show? It's
always fun to see you, Jeff. It's always fun to be a part of something that's this good. If I can spread this open a little bit, I love the wholesomeness of this show. Yes, there's some goofing around and you guys poke fun at some things and each other. And that is really the best part of this because it is a community thing. This is something to be shared amongst all of us as friends. And that's where I like to be in this hobby. That's the place that I'm most comfortable. And having you guys to listen to now twice a week. Thank you very much, Jeff. I appreciate that. It's just it's extra content, which is what us TTMers look for.
Yeah, we do it because we have fun, and you understand that. Joe and I have fun, and I hope you had fun joining us, guys. I want to remind you to enter to win the Bat Boy and the Unbreakable Record. It's a signed book by Robert Skeed. Guys, all you have to do is send us your name and your mailing address, and we want a kid's name because we want to send it off to a 8 to a 12-year-old, 8 to 13-year-old. Get a kid excited about reading. Send it to us at
TTMcast@yahoo.com.
All right, I owe you 75 cents, I think. You want to make it an even dollar?
TTMcast@yahoo.com.
There you go. Dave, I think you did a great job sitting in for Drew. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I love talking hockey with you. Love talking DTMing. You're always welcome at the show. I love what you're doing with the veterans, and I want to thank you for being a listener, and thank you for sitting in for Drew. I know he'll be missed, but we'll have Drew back next week. Guys, I want to wish everyone many happy returns. We will see you on Saturday. Be good.